Hi everybody, Craft and Bev here, otherwise known as Beverly. Today is October 18th, 2022. It's been a little over 2 weeks since my last video because I have not been in my apartment until today. Uh, yeah, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 weeks ago, first let me last video I made, I forgot to tell you how much I weighed, which was 290.5 pounds, I think. I forgot. It was 290.5 pounds. So anyway, 2 weeks ago today, or rather, around, 2 weeks ago tomorrow, it'll be tomorrow. I had taken a shower at 3 o'clock in the morning, and because I couldn't sleep. And sometimes I'll take showers in the middle of the night because no one's going to come to my door, no one's going to call me, and I can be, relaxed to take a nice hot shower. So anyway, I got done with my shower, and I went and I sat down in my recliner and combed out my hair and did a few things. And by the time I got done, it was about 6 o'clock, 6 in the morning. And so I got up to go, I had to feed the girls, and I realized, oh craps, I forgot to start the dishwasher last night. So I went over, made sure I had soap in it, and I started the dishwasher. I ran the water. Oh, I washed a pan I had been using. I had washed a pan and a couple of things because I don't put those in the dishwasher. So anyway, don't touch it, baby girl. So anyway, about 7 o'clock, I get a banging on my door, and I had just gone to bed thinking I'm going to try and get a couple hours sleep. And I was just starting to fall asleep when I get a banging on my door, and they said, Beverly, get up. I need you to get up now. And I'm like, okay, I'm up. So all I had on was what I call my night shirt and my underwear. Go over to the door, and I see it's the manager. And he says, do you have a leak up here? And I'm like, no. And I go, where? And he says, all over. What? He says, the women's bathroom is leaking downstairs. The lady who lives down below me, her apartment is leaking both in the bathroom and the kitchen. And the guy next to her on the other side, she's leaking. Or he's leaking. He's got a leak in his kitchen. And I'm like, well, I'm running my dishwasher, and I just got through washing a pan or, a couple pans. And so he comes in, turns off the dishwasher, starts looking, and he says, I'm going to have a plumber come and look. He says, but don't use your sink. He says, it turns out I had a hole in my garbage disposal. But between you and me, when he said that, it didn't seem like that. I had just started the dishwasher, so why was all three of these downstairs areas, women's bathroom, the lady underneath me, and the person next to her on the other side, on the left side, all of them have leaks, major leaks. Well, then he comes up and he goes, you're not running any water, are you? And I said, no. And he goes next door, and she says no, and he, to the other side, and they say no. So he goes upstairs, and it turns out the lady above me, she's running her dishwasher. Or she's washing her dishes. And apparently water's leaking from her sink, also downstairs. So now all 9 or 8 of us are now without being able to use our kitchens, our showers, and I'm just like, okay, I'm in trouble, So about 10:30, 11 o'clock, here comes the plumber. And he starts looking, and he's looking, and he comes in, and he says something to the manager, and he goes, oh, you're kidding. And he says, no, he says, it's, da-da-da. And I heard him hammering and drilling outside my apartment, and I heard him doing the same thing to the lady that lives on the right side of me. Then a little later, I heard him drilling, doing whatever it was he was doing on the other side. Then I heard noise upstairs. So the manager comes back to my apartment and he says, "You're not going to like me." "Why?" And he says, "You're going to have to go, you and your cats are going to have to go to a hotel for a while." "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, there is major, major leaks going on between the apartments and they're all going downstairs." What? And I said, "I don't know how to get, I can't get to the hotel. Both my daughters are working. Neither one of them come and get me." And he says, "I will make arrangements to get you and your cats, whatever you want to take to the hotel." Okay. So I packed up my phone, the charger, the tablet, and the charger, my Switch and the games and and all that, and packed up a plastic canvas project, grabbed my cross stitch thread, and about 3 projects, and a crochet project. Got everything all packed up, and he came and helped me. And I said, "Is there going to be a kitchen?" And he said, "Unfortunately, the hotel that they're putting you all in does not have a kitchen. It has a small refrigerator and a microwave, but it doesn't have a stove or anything like that." Okay. And I'm just thinking, this is going to be great. So we get there. He gets me there, and he was telling me that they found pipes all along, just cracked, on the 3rd and 2nd floor, and all that water is going down into the 2 apartments and the bathroom downstairs. I said, "How long do you think I'm going to be here?" And he said, "Anywhere from a week to 10 days. So I'm just like, oh boy. So we get there. We get to the hotel, and then he hands me a check for I forget how much it was. It was almost $500, and it was a food allowance for the first 7 days. But when you don't have a kitchen, you only have one option: takeout. And the closest things to me was a Burger King. No, it wasn't a Burger King, a Carl's Jr.'s, Jack in the Box, and a McDonald's. And then there was a couple of restaurants nearby. And I figure I can use the lift to get to these places, to get meals. So after he dropped me off and I had everything that I needed to at least last me, for 10 days, 2 weeks, I decided to call, get Lyft. But I did remember, 1, I forgot the tripod to my camera, to the phone, so I could, and 2, I forgot my scales, which means now I can't weigh myself and I can't, hold the camera for, to see what, to take video and all that without it going all over the place. So I thought, oh, craps. So I went to the bank and I deposited the check into my checking account. And then I had him take me to the grocery store, and I picked up a couple things that didn't need to, because the refrigerator is tiny. And the one good thing about this hotel, it had an ice machine on the floor that I was on. And so I could go and get ice. So I made myself, I had taken my tea maker, and so I could make iced tea and lemonade. And I took that, and along with a bottle of lemon juice, went to the store and picked up a couple of things that I could just open up and microwave and eat or whatever. So mind you, I'm eating nothing. From 2 weeks ago tomorrow to today, I'm eating nothing but fast food and takeout and all that. And I kept thinking, I'm going to be back up into the 300s. The way I'm eating, I'm going to be back up in the 300s. So, yesterday I had to go to the doctor's for an appointment to have blood drawn and other stuff done. And then I had another appointment today for a infusion because of my kidneys and anemia. Well, when I went in for the infusion today, they weighed me. And I'm thinking, God, okay, I don't want to know this. So, and she said, take your shoes off. So I took off my shoes and I took off my sweater and I put everything in the chair provided next to the scales. The scales are one of those ones that you just walk on. It's like part, right there, floor level. And it came up kilograms. And I'm just like, what's that in English terms? And she said, oh, I'd have to figure it out. So I looked on my phone and it said, according to that, I weighed 290 pounds. 289.5 pounds. And I'm like, hey, I lost about 6 ounces, 0.6 pounds, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to complain. At least I wasn't back up in the 300s. While I'm at the doctor's office waiting to have this infusion done, the manager calls me and he says, I got good news. What? And he says, you can come home. Great. I can't do it right now. I'm in the hospital. What do you mean you're in the hospital? And I said, I'm in the hospital having a treatment done. I won't be back to the hotel until almost 12 o'clock. And he says, well, call me and let me know when you get there. So I'm going to send so-and-so over there to get you. So just be ready, packed and up and everything. And I said, okay. Hey, little baby girl. So that's what happened. I got back to the hotel about 11:30, 11:40, packed up everything, and called up the manager. He had one of the people come by, and they picked me up and brought me home. And I'm just like, oh. So I didn't do the video right away because I wanted to get the girls settled it back in, get them back to use, being home and comfortable and all that. So yeah, here we are. So as of this morning, I am at 289.7. So I'm going to go from there. So, but I'm in much better spirits, even with all the crap that went on. I'm in better spirits today than I was before, even all the crap that went on. The girls are good. They're healthy. I hated all the fast food and stuff I was eating, but it's like, and I had a bad habit. I was using Walmart and having them deliver things like potato chips. And there's something else I had them deliver that I shouldn't have eaten. Oh, chocolate donuts. Yeah, and then the hotel I was in, they had what they call a continental breakfast. And so I was having hot chocolate with donuts and coffee cake and all that. And all I kept thinking was, okay, once this is done, we're going to go back, get home and get back. So, yeah. So now I'm starting tomorrow. I'm going to get back on totally my taco diet. So, and also you could tell with all the salt I was eating because my legs and my feet, they're not swelled up humongous, but they're swollen. And so it's one of the things I'm looking forward to is not having all the salt and getting that swelling down and not being so bad. But yeah, when I was at the hospital and they took the blood that came in, and she goes, we have a problem. And I said, what do you mean you have a problem? And she said, your hemoglobin count is at 6.9. And I'm just like, what? And she goes, yeah, it's at 6.9. It was 8.2 not too long ago. And she goes, yeah, we're going to call the doctor and see what he wants to do. If he wants to go with the infusion or put you in the hospital for a blood transfusion. And I said, forget the blood transfusion. I'm going to tell you right now. And she goes, why? And I said, I got 2 cats and no one to take care of them. Because every time I have a blood transfusion, I'm in the hospital for 3 days. I am not going to leave those cats to themselves for 3 days. And I had already found out I was going to have to go back to my apartment. So I wasn't going to deal with going to the hospital, then trying to, get home, you know what I'm saying. So she comes back about a half hour late. She comes back and she's got the doctor on the phone, and he is my kidney specialist. And he says, there's no way you can go to the hospital. And I said, no, I have no one to take care of the girls. And he says, okay, I understand. He says, I'm worried about you. And I said, I'm worried about me too. He says, please. And I told him I was in a hotel. I said, hopefully, I didn't tell him I was going to get to go home that day, today. I just told him, I said, hopefully within a day or two, I was going to get to go back home. And he goes, please, please, please be careful. He says, don't turn around fast. Don't move fast. Don't get up fast. Don't sit down fast. If you start to feel dizzy or nauseated, he said, take a sip of water. He says, and just sit there still. He said, just be careful. And I said, okay, I will. I know exactly what he meant because I did the infusion. And I got sick to my stomach, and I did have dizzy spells shortly after having it done. It's nothing, it's not like it's a shot. It's an intramuscular shot. But it's supposed to make my kidneys, or it's supposed to put a chemical in me that my kidneys are not producing to make my bone marrow make more blood. Even though it's making a lot of blood, they're trying to get my bone marrow to make more blood to see if they can kind of get more in there quicker to at least make it so that I'm not so tired. And I mean it. When I say I'm tired, I don't know how to explain it. I get out of just walking, say 20 feet, wears me out to the point where I have to sit for 15 minutes just to get a little strength to get back into doing what I'm doing. So, yeah. So, you might say to a point, I'm somewhat starting over. But I'm not going to let this get me down. I look at it this way. I came home and you could not tell that they had been underneath. Oh, and I found out what was going on because of the pipes, literally all those pipes, the way they connected to go down. When I took my shower, water was leaking in my downstairs neighbor's bathroom. So when I ran the dishwasher, it was coming into her kitchen. Yeah, she is still there. They're still working on her apartment. It'll probably be about another week before she gets to come home. The person who's next to her, on her left, he got to come home about 4 or 5 days ago because the amount of leakage he had was not that bad. And the lady that's next door to me and the one above her, they all 3 got to come home because theirs was the least of the 8, of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us that had the leaks in our pipes. Them upstairs, they were only out of their apartments for 3 days because they had to be out so they could work on their sinks and do things, and they had to turn off the water. So just because the water got turned off, they were in the hotel for 3 days. So me and the lady below me and the lady next door to me, we were in the hotel the longest. Her and I got to come home today, and the lady downstairs below me is still at the hotel because they're still working on her apartment. And I thought to myself, this poor lady. First, my toilet turns into a fountain, floods her and me out to where we were in a hotel for almost a month while they were totally redoing our apartments. I love what they did with the floor in there because we got this nice, I know it's kind of like a linoleum, but I like it better because now I don't have to worry about having accidents because it can get cleaned up right away. Um, but she's still, I mean, I asked the manager, I go, is this going to be the end of it? Is she going to be able to be in a dry apartment? And he looks at me and he goes, I hope so. And he says, you've got a brand new garbage disposal. He says, he goes, and here's the rules. Yeah, no eggshells, no bones, no um, big chunks, nothing like, big pieces of cauliflower or anything like that. No animal skins, no nuts, nothing like that. And I'm like, okay, that's makes. And he says, turn on the water, turn on the garbage disposal, then put the stuff down in the garbage disposal. And I said, okay, I'll do that. That's no problem. While I was at the hotel, I did some crocheting on an Afghan I'm working on. Not a whole lot. I had a very hard time seeing because the lighting in the hotel was lousy. I didn't get any cross stitching hardly done. I got very little done because the lighting there was, I wish I thought to bring my light, but the lighting there was very, very lousy. The only thing I could really do was plastic canvas, and I didn't even get that much done because I was just, hey, I wanted to come home. So now I'm home. I'm comfortable. I got out of my shirt that I wore to the hospital and put on one of my crafting shirts. And I'm like, okay, now I'm not going to do any crafting tonight only because I'm too tired. I mean, I'm worn out. I just don't feel like trying to do a whole lot. I've got some cross stitching I want to do. I've got some plastic canvas I want to finish, try and do. So I figured, okay, I can do that. And then tomorrow morning I'll get up, come in here, do some work. Yeah, the only thing I really did in that hotel was play on the switch because I didn't have to have, the switch has its own light, so I was able to see. But it had no internet. If I wanted internet in that room, I would have to pay an extra $20 a day for the internet. And I'm like, no. So I was glad I took my DVD player and my movies so I could at least watch movies while there. So, yeah. Okay. So, I will give you an update on Monday, let you know how things are. I might even able to show you some things that I have finished. I really need, like I said once before, I need to get really into the mindset and stay out of the kitchen. Need to stay off my phone and not order from Walmart so much. I mean, like I said, this whole past time, I was ordering Walmart. They would bring something and I would pop it in the microwave and eat it. And not good. Not good. I had a bad habit of eating a lot of potato chips. What do you call Hot Pockets, frozen things like, frozen meal things that high in salt. The lady that's downstairs from me, I had went to go do laundry, and we were she was down there doing laundry too, and I said, I want ice cream, but free. And she goes, you want to come with me? We'll go to the ice cream place and go get ice cream. Yeah, I'm ready. I said, we need to finish laundry. And she goes, oh yeah. So we finished our laundry, went downstairs, and we hoofed it on, or not hoofed it. We took the lift to this ice cream place that's downtown. And I ordered a big ice cream thing. But sitting there eating that was just, okay, I feel better, the stress not so bad. But it's like, okay, that's it, all that's gone. It's past. It's done. I really need to get these projects going and done. there is no room in my craft room. I've got to get things done so that I can get it neater. One of these days, I'll kind of give you an idea how bad it is in here. And I mean bad. It's bad. As my manager says, it's an organized mess. It's safe. It's not hazard, but there's a lot that has to be. I mean, I think I have close to 400 something projects, not counting cross stitch. So, yeah. So, I will see you all Monday. Everybody have a good day, a good weekend. Please be safe. Be kind to each other. And don't look at the world and think how bad. Look within yourself and think how great. Bye.